Playboy, you made that beat.
Welcome to another episode of High School Hoops Talk. I am E. Talley with
Richard DeLeon.
This is Mike Daniel Jr.
That's it.
Yes, sir. That's Mike Daniel Jr.
We're not gonna get the normal.
Well, you didn't do it's your boy. You didn't do all that. So I was following y'all.
No, I did, but I introduced the show.
I'm good at being a follower.
So we having one of those shows again? Because if we are, let me know. I'll just tell Vic to cut it, and I'll
That's
go
some
take
good
my
Eagles
basketball and go
fans.
home today. I'm not
That's
in
good
the
Eagles fans. That's good
being in
Eagles
the
fans.
confrontational mood. I'm just letting y'all know. So I just want to talk some good basketball. The city's starting to heat up. We have a lot of district games that happened yesterday, and next week we have them all of them. I think kick off next week. I believe, with the exception of small schools, they got a little smaller divisions, but all the the big ones, they all pretty much started. So before we always kick it off, we always like to ask, what's going on at the Sportsplex, Mike?
This weekend, the Patriots homeschool tournament is happening this weekend.
Oh, wow.
So the gym is going to be packed with some competitive homeschool teams getting it in.
Now, real quick, do they ever invite non-homeschool teams to that event, or it's just always only homeschool teams?
Homeschool, they got their own league.
They really?
Yeah, folks that are involved with that. It's pretty decent games. Real competitive. Not the prettiest basketball, but competitive basketball, if that makes any sense at all.
Yep. And then when you say homeschool, you're talking kids who attend home and then do their curriculum over the internet and pretty much, find gyms or where they have PE outside of home, correct?
Accurate.
Or outside of school, excuse me.
Accurate. I don't know all the total ins and outs, but yes, to that degree, yes.
Okay. So yeah. So are you part of that at all, or are you going to oversee any of that, or just, hey, you don't have to come into that day?
I won't be anywhere near the gym this weekend.
Okay, good for you.
No reffing, no ref assigning, no. I'm gonna be nowhere near the gym this weekend.
Okay.
And other than that, major stuff in the Sportsplex is MaxFit. That's our agility, strength, conditioning facility, best in the city, bar none, hands down. With what's in that building and in that area, that's growing tremendously. Phenomenal facility for any athletes of any sport to come and get extra work and come and get better. And then outside of that, we got pickleball going on throughout the week, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Got open run basketball, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And so just doing what a Sportsplex is supposed to do, trying to encompass any and everything in there.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
The fastest growing sport in the United States of America, from what I just read.
Yeah, that's Dallas.
Yeah.
A lot of people are invested, by the way.
SWAC and Drive Nation, they can tell us about that.
No, I mean, like a lot of athletes, former basketball players are actually involved with making that the number one. You said number one fastest growing?
Yeah.
Or fastest growing?
That's either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then you said that's 9 to 12. I keep saying I'm gonna come over there at 9 to 12.
Yes.
Find a reason to get over there at 9 to 12 because I want to see it.
You're probably not coming over there till I get off this injury and back and play again. You ain't coming nowhere near there.
Now, again, I'm telling you, I'm being honest, man. I want to come and watch the pickleball.
Well, we got to start here because before we go to Tom House and play, yeah, because you know they intense out there.
Oh, no, I ain't going out there. He live out there, but they probably be putting hours in. You know, again, to make a great player, you got to practice.
I just met a client
Pickleball.
that's coming off of a broken back. Pickleball.
They broke their back playing pickleball.
I don't know how it happened, but he's got a little back brace and all that. Yeah.
That's intense. He probably hurt it. Probably trying to hit it too hard because
who knows?
Heard that's a wingspan game. You got a long wingspan, you can flick that wrist and get that thing over there because it's not a hard ball.
Unless they hit it right into you, then that wingspan works against you.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't know. It's like ping pong, no?
Yeah. It seems like a hybrid of ping pong and tennis.
Racquetball and handball.
Handball, yeah.
Only
handball's hard.
East Coast folks know, down
handball,
south,
yeah.
About handball.
Yeah, handball's hard. I'm telling you, that's a hard sport.
I used to play a lot of racquetball
Okay.
when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah, I never played handball though.
After watching the movie Big, I never wanted to play racquetball.
Why? What happened on Pig? I remember Tom Hanks. What happened on Pig?
That whole ordeal where the guy was trying to take the ball from him, he's holding it from him, and this and that. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. You movie buffs.
Hey,
All
that's,
right. So
that's classic right there.
It is.
Mike
It is.
at Super Sports might want to start sending Mike and me to the movies to watch a movie and give a review every week since he's such a movie buff.
He is a movie buff.
Yeah.
He
Hold
loves
on.
old movies.
I'm a classics movie buff, not this new junk. I don't have time.
Yeah.
But classics. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, real quick before we jump into basketball, what do y'all think in reference to a lot of the older movies being remakes? So I bring that up because I saw New Jack City is about to be a remake for that. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm going to be so pissed at that because that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going to be I don't care what they do. I'm going to be pissed at that remake.
Yeah.
There's just some things you got to leave alone.
Right.
Like Coming to America. There's just some things you just got to leave alone.
So you didn't like part 2?
Not saying I didn't like it, but some things you just got to leave alone.
She left it where it was at.
I still haven't watched White Man Can't Jump, the new one.
No,
I still have not watched it. I refuse to watch it.
Some things you just got to leave alone.
Well, I didn't like the ending. That's why.
Of the new one?
No, the old one.
The old one?
Yeah, I didn't like how it ended. Remember it ended.
You didn't like how she left him.
Yeah, my man got this. Remember at the end?
That's a good ending though.
No, I didn't like
everybody's used to
he got played.
but everybody's used to the happy endings in movies. I love it when you get a curveball and you're like, wow, okay.
Didn't see that coming.
It didn't work out.
How did you play? She told him if you play, I'm done.
Yeah.
Not
and
just that.
Us thinking we can play the guitar and sing to him was gonna keep her around. It didn't work.
No, Wesley hustled him
himself. Huh?
Wesley hustled them though. That's what I didn't like.
That's no.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes hustled them.
No, they wanted to play against the King and Duck. They beat the King and Duck.
Yeah,
they did beat him.
Yeah,
I thought Wesley. I don't know. I swore Wesley hustled.
That's where sometimes you win and sometimes you lose.
Wesley hustled him before that. They made up for the tournament because remember Wesley's apartment got broke into. He got her on Jeopardy to make up. She accepted him back. Then she told him, "You gamble my money, we are through." He didn't believe it. He went and gambled. They won, and she was gone.
Yeah,
he played himself. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, that is paying yourself there. That is. Well, look. Enough of me being wrong about these movies. Let's me be wrong about some high school basketball. Real quick.
Every time I think of White Man Can't Jump, for some reason, I always remember.
I'm gonna go watch that today.
What is a quince? Like that. I never even knew a fruit was a quince. Now, but because of that movie, I know quince is a fruit because it was on Jeopardy.
No, Billy. It's foods that start with the letter Q.
Okay, yeah.
What is a quince, or however she talks? He does Rosie. He does
Rosie
her
Perez
better than
really
I
well.
do for sure.
Look, I was in
Messed
love.
up
I
last
was in
week
love
when
with
he did it.
Rosie.
It messed
But
me up.
Rosie, Rosie
He
Perez,
actually
like,
imitated her and was kind of close to it. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
that was my
Okay.
first. That was my first Boricua love right there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was you. You weren't the only one who fell in love with Rosie Perez. But hey, yesterday's games was pretty good. You went to one, right?
The O'Connor and Harlan got him 83-70. Again, I think if I'm not mistaken,
13. You said
Yeah.
83.
83-70.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, the statistic that was given to me was Josiah Jones had 8 3-pointers.
Oh, he got hot.
Yeah, that's what that. Yeah, that's what.
He had it going.
Hey,
Yeah.
what kind of 13 was it? Was it they were down by 26 and they put the bench in and they came back, or was it a dog fight all the way to and through and it ended up being 13? Which kind of 13 was it?
I got there late, so I
Okay.
can't really tell you because I was trying to get there in time, but that's just kind of I came in on the tail end of that.
Got it.
So, but I do know that O'Connor was struggling with some injuries and stuff, but sounds like some of the new blood was able to get a little bit, on the court a little bit more. So hopefully that benefits them going forward. But I will say this past weekend, when we talk about some of the games, like for O'Connor at Bernie, that was a game where it just felt like O'Connor just couldn't put the ball in the hole. They're struggling with that part of their game, and it kind of turned around and bit them. Now, I will say about Bernie, when you're watching them from the stands, they don't seem like a big team.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get on the court,
Yeah, Bernie's big.
yeah, they got some size, man.
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the real big, like
Mm-mm.
it's not the Ethan and Hagen size height wise.
6'6", 6'8".
Yeah, yeah,
no.
but it's like it's a
6'2", 6'3".
yeah, it's a very consistent height across the board. Yeah.
So real quick, let's give Coach Hall a shout out for updating his max prep. He put all the stats in. So Mike asked a little bit about the stats, or you mentioned something about the stats. Josiah had 31.
Show how many threes he hit. Is it 8?
Show his threes. No, it doesn't show. He went for he went
He had
10
3-pointers.
Yeah.
He went 10 14.
Six,
Yeah, it doesn't show on as far as here.
he was 6 of 8 from the 3-point line.
I'm lying. It does show. He went 6 for 8.
6 for 8.
Shooting 75%, shooting 71% overall from the field.
Okay, so he had 6 then. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 10 for 14.
Yeah.
That's not bad for a young man.
I mean,
that's what you want to see right there.
As a team, they shot the ball very well from the 3-point line. They shot very well. They made 9, 11, 12, 14. They made 14 threes, and they attempted 17, 19, 22, 24.
So this is good.
They were 14 out of 24. They shot above 50% from the 3-point line last night. That's tough.
So this is going to be a night-to-night season then, because when I saw them against Clark on Saturday, it was a totally different story. I mean, they didn't seem that locked in on the rim. I mean, Josiah had some threes against Clark. I think he had about 20, but they didn't get hot. So I guess it just depends on these teams night in and night out.
We got to remember, we've been saying that since we started talking about high school basketball. We said every game, every night, there's no nights off. And
Right.
if you take a night off, you're gonna get your bell rung and ran out the gymnasium.
Right. Yeah.
Man,
And
31 though.
That's
pretty good
That's what we're seeing across the board.
Good. That's damn good.
for a sophomore. Carry the team like that.
And the other team that I was very impressed with this past weekend was John Jay. I was very impressed with them.
We've been talking about them cats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, U-Ball talking about since we've seen them at the spring showcase. We've been talking about them cats.
Yep. I mean,
We told everybody a 6A school that went down to 5A.
Yeah.
I don't understand why why are people surprised about what their abilities were?
against
Their backcourt didn't change; it got better.
against
this
Veterans
year.
Memorial, that Jaden Guillen kid,
Mm-hmm.
he balled out against Veterans.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning. Boy,
Okay.
he just got hot. It was one of those things where he was at the 28-foot line, and I was saying to myself, shoot it. Just shoot it.
Veterans is a new roller coaster ride. I can't figure out what in the hell is going on with them, man.
Hey man,
One
y'all gotta
night they
understand.
look. One
My
night they
guys,
look.
they had a lot of seniors that were good. Their senior class was good. They had 4 seniors that were something to talk about. Gervais, Mayweather, Dennis, what's his name? Oh man, I can't think of big boy name. Oh man, he played there. Oh, I can't think of his name. I'm drawing a blank right now. They had some players that were that played the part and made sure they played their role to make sure they won every game. It wasn't about me, 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 me. It was a collective role for everybody to play that allowed them to make sure they got every victory. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go undefeated, but still they got a lot of victories last year.
Right.
Whereas it was good to see them play.
I also feel like the Veterans Memorial, I feel like once they get into district, they're going to settle on more of a
No, they're in district already.
But they were in the tournament this past weekend when I saw them against Jay. That was the NEISD tournament, the Northside tournament. So I think once they're in district, I assume their rotation is going to be a little bit more set.
Okay.
The rotation on Saturday kind of looked like maybe the coach was trying to get a look at some guys or whatever.
Right.
But that game got away from him anyway because John Jay, y'all saw it. I sent y'all an update. It was like a 1-point game, 2-point game. And then in the third quarter, I said, man, this thing's a 20-something point game. You know, it just got away from him third quarter.
What I've been seeing, and not just with Veterans Memorial, but with a lot of high school teams, kids seem uncomfortable. You know, they're trying to play within the system, and you see them not taking advantage of opportunities and not being ball players. I'm seeing a lot of robots, a lot of robotization, you know, creating a word there. And they don't seem comfortable on the basketball court. And because of the lack of comfort, they're not doing what they're capable of doing, and trying to get comfortable gets them into trouble. And I'm seeing that across a lot of high school basketball right now.
I'm not reacting like this, Mike, because I'm disagreeing with you. I got my head down right now because that's disturbing to me because I'm seeing the same thing. Kids are not playing basketball; they're executing instruction.
Yeah,
that's all they're doing out there, and I'm seeing a lot of it. I saw a lot of it this past weekend too. It's just they're out there executing instruction, trying not to get pulled out of a game. I don't know. Yeah,
making a pass to the wing and cutting through to the hole just because the offense said so, getting hit in the back of the head because you're wide open and somebody made the pass to you, but you were never expecting that pass because I'm running the offense. You know, it's.
What advice would you give little Eric from not doing that and not make that a habit?
It's hard because we could give you advice, but their head coach at school might feel totally different than the advice we would give.
Like I said, I'm not touching that one. I'm gonna pray that, you know, the beginning of season jitters wears off, you know, these next few games before we go into the holiday break, get these district openers out. And then when they come back in January, hopefully they come back and they get to playing basketball because, you know, when you see kids in a different element and then you see them with their school team and you see a kid like, wait a minute, who is this? You know, it's a little scary. And so I hope that between the players, coaches, film sessions, time in the gym, I hope that some of these kids and these teams can get it together.
So kids aren't being comfortable and being confident, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are saying. Confident and comfortable. It's not allowing them to show off their. Well, I'm glad y'all bring that up. It's funny.
I will say I saw it from a couple of schools that this past weekend where it felt like some of their players looked uncomfortable out there. And maybe it's going to, you know, maybe that'll be something that they just, like we said, work out those.
And it's so Captain Obvious. I mean, we're talking, you know, easy pull-ups, easy drives to the rim, but because the offense didn't tell you to drive to the rim, you know, you're not doing so. And you can tell the kids that are comfortable because you can watch a kid turn down a shot and then watch another kid take that exact same shot with no hesitation. And so, you know, and I'm gonna tell you what I don't hear. I don't hear coaches telling them not to do it, right? And so just wondering where the disconnect is. And like I said, praying that, you know, this beginning of season jitters and new transition to varsity and whatnot, I hope it can get gone so these kids can play with the confidence and then help their school team, because at the end of the day, it's what it's all about.
Right.
You know, being able to help your school team and get victories, you know, that's what it boils down to, making the district run, your playoff run. And so that's what I'm hoping to see in this second half of high school basketball.
Yeah, because some teams are already 19 games in. John Jay's 19 games in.
St. Anthony's, I think I saw 24 games are already there.
Yeah,
Played 22-2 or something like that.
Hey, that's a very surprising school. Got a chance to watch them this past weekend. I'm glad we had them ranked before I went and watched them play. They are that good. They are that good. They are we have them top 15, and they are top 15. And so with being top 15 is really nice to see them have the core of kids. I just need the coach to go ahead and send me all the names of the roster. I need to update a roster. I'm gonna reach out to him later today because three kids, I believe, made all district. No, 2 kids made all district. 1 kid was MVP, and then the coach was the coach of the event. So with all that being said, I didn't have everybody's name. I got coach's name. I got one of the players, but I didn't have 2 others. So I wanted to have that to recognize those guys, to let them know we're watching and paying attention. Oh, we lost you, Mike.
Nah, I had to step away for a quick second. I didn't want to burn the house down, in a defect. Got some good bacon going on.
Okay. Yeah, but we lost you. I was like, he's gonna call back. He'll call back in. He'll lock in. So that was a good tournament. They had a small tournament over at Lytle. We talked about it a little bit, Mike. And they had some small school teams, level 3 and 4. They did their thing. What else I saw this weekend? South San. I thought the South San ISD did a good job bringing some big hitters in. I believe they had Flower Mound come in.
I believe so.
I think Flower Mound won it all for for San Antonio ISD. Anyone know who won for the NEIS or Northside ISD district?
I want to say, was it?
It was one of those Houston schools.
I believe it was Reagan was playing against somebody. I didn't stay for that game because I'd overstayed my welcome at Northside Gym.
Yeah.
I was there all day.
Yeah, okay.
They were. Like, you start hitting us with them blasts. I'm like, he is really over there just.
And he was working. That's why I loved it. Oh, we got a few upsets out there too, didn't we, Mike?
Man.
Were we updating the list?
So, I don't know if it's called an upset because on our list we had Alamo Heights above Bernie Champion, but per Max Preps, that was an upset last night with Alamo Heights beating Bernie Champion last night. So I don't know, tomato, potato. All we know is we had 2 very good teams going at it last night, and Alamo Heights came out on top. Those dudes they're serious right now.
So was it you who told me that they got knocked at Bernie Champions last year, knocked them out of the playoffs, knocked Alamo Heights out of the playoffs? No, I was talking to Neff about that. So yeah, last year in the playoffs, Bernie Champions knocked Alamo Heights out. So it was kind of personal for those guys this year, what I was explaining. So Alamo Heights was trying to get their lick back.
Well,
and it was a district game at that.
Coach Brewer's got them boys playing some basketball right now, man. He does.
That's going to be a very interesting district.
The cool thing about a team losing, right? So Bernie Champion took a tough L last night, and they got Bernie this Saturday. Now, Gary Sanchez, shout out. Thank you for the update, because right now the schedule still shows that game being played this Friday. The game is actually this Saturday at Bernie Champion at 2:00. Good luck to Bernie being in the state semifinal football game up in Waco this weekend, which is why that basketball game had to be moved. And so, Bernie Champion is going to come out. One, they just took an L, but two, because they're playing Bernie. So, that game is going to be might have to get out there to that one.
Yeah, we'll make it out there. Definitely, especially after coming off of our game of the week, will be Johnson and Antonian. And I tell you this, a good school to watch.
Dallas Parish Episcopal beat
Oh, they
Reagan
beat 'em. Okay.
in the final, 51-38.
Okay, good stuff. East Central versus Antonian. Oh, that was a good game. I'm telling you right now, that district over there, District 29, 6A, that's going to be a great district to go watch. East Central, man, they look nothing like what they looked prior to. They got their football guys back. Again, get your football guys back. You change everything.
It gives you some physicality and some athleticism.
They gave them more athleticism. Those guards get after it, and they looked the part. It was a hard fought game. Foul trouble got them in trouble. They fouled out 2 kids. You foul out 2 kids, you know what happens. You're not playing. You're not going to probably 2 valuable guys, getting all your rebounds. You foul them out. Hey, man. Now you're stuck to, and then that's what happened. They lost the rebound game, and then Antonian was to kind of chip away and did it.
You know what I love about things like that?
Mario Guerrero, though, real quick. Agetta. I say it right? Did I say it right, Mike?
Guetta.
Second, yes.
I mean, listen, I can roll that R sometimes. Watching him play, though, again, I love watching him play. He's a really, really good basketball player that, again, I don't, whatever level he goes and plays, it's going to be enjoyable to watch him play. Seriously. I really enjoy it. He loves scoring, but he loves dishing the ball off to their leading. Like, he's not even the leading scorer for that team. And that's wow, okay. What you was going to say, Mike?
I love when teams like that get together and play, because you got to go in the other one's house. And there's nothing like playing in front of those hostile environments like the olden days. Remember, back in the olden days, you had to go to the other school. You know what I'm saying? And so there was home court advantage, there was hostile environment. And that's when you can play through that madness that's happening. Don't get me wrong, I love the field houses, but it just ain't the same. It's just not the same.
No, it's not. It's not.
You're talking like a Sam Houston Lanier old school rivalry where you got to go into them houses. Man, I love them kind of basketball games right there.
I remember, I went to a North Side high school, so we played all of our home games. Yeah, Holmes. We
shout out to Holmes.
Played all of our home games at Paul Taylor Fieldhouse. But I remember when we played against those teams that had their own facilities, like South San, Harlandale. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those were hostile environments. I mean, there were times where we'd be pulling out on the bus after the game. We'd get rocked by the student element there.
Rocks was being.
Oh yeah.
No, I just want to share with the audience.
Make sure those
rocks.
Make sure those windows are up.
That's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough. That's.
I mean, I'm not glamorizing that, but that was just the way it was.
Yeah. So remember, I was telling y'all that Amari's not even the leading scorer for his team. So one of the things I wanted to kind of bring it to everybody's attention, how well DJ Miller's playing over there for JP2. Right now, he's leading all taps with 23 points a game. Told you Ed Owen, I think that's how you pronounce it, his last name. He's right behind him right there with 22.5. And then our guy from Holy Cross, Mr. Aaron Garcia. We got a chance to see him play one day. You were with me, right, Mike?
The Alamo Heights game at San Antonio Christian Tournament.
Yes, sir. So to see those guys all, getting shout out by taps.
So I know we had some conversation about Holy Cross. Are they knocking on the door of the top 25 or not?
We didn't have no conversation about Holy Cross. We just said we look at what they
I'm gonna let Mike answer that question. Go ahead, Mike. Entertain.
We had no conversation. We was brought to our attention that we was missing a school, and so we put them on our watch and we watched him. It is what it is.
I'm just being a brat.
No,
right
no,
now.
no. You're doing a great job again.
Which
To bring in,
but they found out, you know, that there's no bias or favoritism in our list. We do a pretty decent job. We're not perfect, but we do a pretty decent job of homework and conversations, you know, when putting these lists out. And
real quick plug, Mike. Remember, our list is San Antonio versus San Antonio. You do not allow when you play Houston to come in and play in favor winning or losing, unless you win a tournament that you had several San Antonio schools in that, i.e., same tournament. But for the most part, it's San Antonio versus San Antonio. That's
Right.
where our list is derived from.
and
I'm sorry.
we do our best to do homework to see who played who and how they did, and you know, then we go from there. You know, the Holy Cross gig, maybe we were missing one, but you know, it just so happened that the following week after they put themselves on notice with us, they ran into a tournament that they happened to face San Antonio Stevens and San Antonio Alamo Heights, and it did not go well for Holy Cross. And so we were looking to, you know, we like we say, man, if there's somebody that we're missing, let us know, man. We ain't perfect, and if we miss a school, like me and Tally was going back and forth all morning, you know, looking at the New Braunfels and the Smith Valleys and the Jeffersons, the Sotomayors, you know, the Southwest and Southwest Legacy. You know what I'm saying? We were looking at, is there anybody that we're missing? You know, going and looking at the schedule, who have they beat notable? And so we do a pretty decent job. Are we perfect? Hell no. If you look at Max Prep list, you know, because Max Preps is Max Preps. Max Prep is supposed to be the gospel, right? But look at what just happened to Bernie Champion. They had Alamo Heights like 9 spots behind Bernie Champion, and Alamo Heights said, we saw that and we take offense to that, and they took care of business last night. So ain't nobody perfect out here with these rankings things, you know. It's just that rankings. You want to be mad, use it for field, take it to the court, you know. But I mean, it is what it is, and that's just what it is.
Well, I just like to do it because at the same time, again, my bottom line up front is to make sure San Antonio kids get recognized and noticed that somebody's watching them. So, you know,
they know we're watching.
Good.
Yeah,
we got a great conversation today.
Let's put somebody down on the list.
we was getting a conversation today, and you know, we were talking about 2 teams that which one deserved it more, and Mike brought up some great points. Okay, let's look at who they beat and who they lost to. And you know, it matters. You can't say it doesn't. You cannot tell us how good you are and then turn around and lose to schools that you can't lose to a Madison. And no disrespect to Madison, please. I'm not pooping on them and making them out to be the outlier.
We'll have to make a fictional school.
Well, no, I'm just saying their record. If you look at Madison's, look at Madison's record,
we're good.
and you'll see that they haven't won a lot. But the wins they do have, again, they just knocked somebody off yesterday. So shout out to them. And again, anybody's beatable. And, you know, again, that's why the games have to be played. So that's why we try to make sure we do due diligence. We look at all the games played. And that's one thing I give Mike a lot of credit to, because he sits there and combs it with a fine-tooth comb. I'm talking about when you got a little short hair. He makes sure, if you're trying to look for ticks type thing, he makes sure he knows, hey, this team just played 3 San Antonio teams, and with you playing 3 San Antonio teams, hey, man, your record is not better than what it should be. You know, if you play 5 teams in San Antonio and you're 3-2, but you want to be in the top 10, I'm going to lose that argument. I'm going to lose it every time. I don't care. The 3 teams you beat are top, but you lost to 3 teams that's not in the top 5. How about that? So, unfortunately,
you know,
Eric, due diligence and make sure we comb through it and do look as much homework as we can. So, and that's why it's not posted yet, but it'll be posted today. Top 5 schools are listed as Brennan, Antonian, Steele, Wagner, and John Jay. So I believe they were the same 5 that started listings on Sunday or Monday. They still the same 5. They all took care of business. Mike?
You got to give yourself credit, though, because you set the precedent from the get-go when we started this, you know, how we were going to move with this. And we've stayed consistent. And the reason that we had to establish that precedent is to limit the backlash that possibly could come. You know, like when
Here
you
you go,
look at
Vic.
our new list, why did this
Hold on,
person
Mike.
go
Your
here?
sound went out. Say something.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Pull them off and bring them back on, but I didn't touch a single thing.
Can y'all hear me? Or
There you go. You're back. You're back. Wait,
Did
say what you were saying again. Sorry.
I said you have to give yourself credit, Eric, because you set a precedent and a standard on how we were going to do this from the get-go. And we followed that standard, which allows us to have the healthy conversations that we have. You know, like if somebody looks, well, why did this team go above this team? They didn't lose. Yeah, you're right. They didn't lose, but they didn't play either. So the same way we're not going to penalize them, I can't shift them above somebody that just beat somebody, you know. And so we have a standard that, you know, we can identify and back up our reasonings and our rationale. And it's a fair rationale, you know. And at the end of the day, yes, we're doing this to put kids on notice, put teams on notice, but we also want to be fair to folks, you know. We all have our schools that we have different relationships with, but we want to make sure that that bias and that favoritism is removed, and we're being fair. You know, I got a good buddy. I'm gonna call him out, Robert Bell. Send me a goofy message being funny with me. Hey man, get number 9 out of there. Hell, I didn't know who number 9 was. I go look in his damn Clemens. Well, I guess his team really wanted to be out of there because they had a rough next few days, you know. And so again, there's no bias. It's all love is what it really is. You know, you take care of business. It's simple. You know, you don't take care of business.
Fading out again, real quick.
Tell Vic stop messing with my stuff.
He said, Vic, stop turning them up and down, Vic.
I haven't touched my computer. You want to know? I've been eating tomatoes. I have not touched my computer. What Vic over there doing, man?
Oh no. Now say something. There you go. You're back.
See, Vic.
No, you're not.
No, Vic telling me I'm talking too much. I'm gonna shut up now. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, real quick, then in the round off the top 5.
He just faded out. That's all.
I know, right? Long-winded. He got long-winded for himself. But no, to round off the next top 5 or the top 10, we got Alamo Heights, Clark, TMI, Reagan, and Judson. Yeah. And so real quick, just a funny story. Last week before, right when I believe Clark won against Judson and lost to Clemens. Am I right, Mike? And remember, I mentioned to you, I say, hey, man, we got to give Clark a little bit more love, or we got to see what was going on. You like, no, just wait. It's going to play itself out. Clark got some tough games coming up. Lo and behold, Clark's number 7. So the list matches your play. That's all I want to say. The list matches your play.
Jaden Flemings over at Clark. He opened my eyes a little bit.
You saw him play, right?
On Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about that.
Yeah.
You know,
he's a good player.
They had Harlan. They had him. They had him by double digits, right?
Yeah.
Then every time Jaden would come out of the game, Harlan would
go on a
run, full court press, and they couldn't break a press. So when I look at that, it's not all about points and all that. It's how you can stabilize the team and, you know, keep getting the team into the offense. Not only can the kid score, but he's a facilitator as well, and he gets them into the offense. When he was out, you could tell the difference. When he was out.
And can y'all hear me?
Real quick, Rich, look at the list, and then I just sent it to you, and then let us know off that list. Are there any new surprises or anything that just still stands out? That's all I would like to ask that question.
Can y'all hear me before I start talking?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Guard play rules the world. And what you witnessed with Jaden Fleming, I witnessed with Marion last night. They got a senior point guard. He got in some foul trouble early and had to sit the rest of the first half. And Comfort, you know, made Marion look like they shouldn't be playing basketball. Marion withstood the storm. Boy started that third quarter. He came back. Look, night and day. Me and Eric been talking about this. I know Tim Littlefield, you know, educated us with this last year. Guard play rules the world.
Thanks.
We blank in the story.
Mike been saying it the whole season, every weekend. I think that's one of your cliche things that you say. That and used to be putting the socks and shoes on. Gotta get that back going again too.
Yeah.
I like that one.
You don't want to keep bringing it up. I actually been trying to stay away from it. You keep going to it.
Hey man, listen, it's yours. It's the hey man, certain like you guys make fun of me in new Braunfels. Yeah, I've been working on that purposely. Yeah, no S in there no more.
No,
New
but
Braunfels.
you
I think we know the reason
like
you're working on it.
hesitated.
I gotta make sure because I gotta think about it. I gotta think of not putting that dang on S in there. But anyway,
I think after last Wednesday, that's why you conscious now.
no. I don't mind. I'm gonna still say basketball. Always say basketball. You know what I'm saying? There you go. But no, I want to get those the proper terms of these cities correct. I don't want to be the guy that's.
You're not the only one that says New Braunfels.
I know that's why I said.
There's
a lot of people put that
other
S in
people.
there.
Yeah,
That's why I thought it was funny. But anyway,
I mean, you ought to meet the ones that call it News Braunfels.
news.
no, I never believed it. And I'll make fun of them. Anybody jump out?
Man, I just to me, when you look at the bottom part of this top 25 here, I look at Brandeis. They kind of stand out a little bit. I got a chance to watch what's his name?
Montoya?
Not Finley, Sean Tisdale.
Tisdale.
Man, Tisdale's a beast, man.
Yes.
He knows how to use his body.
Yes,
I mean,
he is. He's a big kid.
And he works the contact and finishes. I mean, he's got a nice little game to him. Harlan with like we talked about Josiah Jones.
Yes.
When you talk about guard play rules the world,
him and Knowledge.
I think he's playing 32 minutes a game.
Yeah, him and Knowledge.
Because I don't know. I really don't know if you take him out of the game. I really don't know how it's gonna work out because, like we said about Jaden Fleming, he wasn't in foul trouble, but he would come out of the game for extended minutes. I mean, and I'm just like, Mike.
I'm gonna tell you why.
The world.
Hey, go watch their JV.
I'm gonna tell you why. And so,
Harlan.
So, Jaden Fleming's coming out of the game. It's Clark preparing for playoffs and Clark preparing for worst case situations, right?
Yeah.
Josiah Jones playing 32 minutes is dangerous because if something happens, who in the hell is going to fill that void? Who is going to be ready to fill that void? Yeah. And so what you just said, theoretically, Clark stands a better chance because more guys are getting opportunity in tested waters.
Right.
If Josiah Jones is playing 32 minutes, who else is getting prepared?
And I don't know if he's playing 32 for the whole year, but the couple games I watched, he plays the whole game.
No.
Like we saw this happen to girls last year.
Knowledge Carter, he's good. Don't sleep on him. Knowledge Carter, he can play. He can flat out and play. Again, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he just didn't. I don't know. I didn't watch the game. But he usually is one of their leading scorers. Between those two, they're the two leading scorers, Knowledge and Josiah.
You mentioned Harlan's JV. Why'd you mention?
Oh, they're full of athletes. They look good. They got a bunch of kids over there. Just oh my goodness, like man, they're long. They look like basketball players. They're one of the JVs, i.e., like a Judson, East Central. They're JVs. Yeah, Brennan. They're JVs that look really, really good towards those. Like you can see their pipeline of players that it's gonna be like, wow, they're next. So again, it's just a good group of kids to say, oh, okay. They're not worried about losing seniors. One of those schools.
Yeah.
So
no, and I understand what we're talking about. You got to test your depth and stuff. I was just making an observation that you can tell when Jaden comes out of the game. You can tell, like, the offense does not run the way it does when he's in there, and that's a testament to him. Yeah. But I think he's a different type of player than Josiah too, Jones. They're different types of players too.
Yes, definitely.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can't make this stuff up segment real quick.
Go for it.
On along what we're talking about. So we're talking about JV basketball, varsity basketball, right? And man, I got put in a real sticky situation these past couple of days. Leave JV and varsity basketball players alone, club teams. I'm begging you, because I'm going to do everything in my power to deter you from playing your JV and varsity basketball players in my weekend events. You know, we have a 9th grade tournament, 9th, 10th grade tournament. It's for the kids that didn't make the team, guys that are looking to get these guys some reps and runs. My weekend tournaments right now are not for JV players and not for varsity players. Okay? So when I ask you those questions, do what's right by kids, man. If you got a sophomore that's playing on varsity, what good are you bring? What good is it doing bringing that kid to a 9th, 10th grade division tournament? Don't do that kid like that. They're getting more than enough. They're practicing every day. They're getting 2 quality games a week. How are you going to explain to that coach, that kid's parents, that because if you wanted to come and win a tournament, you got this kid playing in a weekend tournament that nobody's watching, no recruits are going to be at? Like, guys,
Vic,
club coaches out
we got an issue there, Vic.
I'm not touching a single thing. Either the board is shorting out or something.
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can't hear
He's
me?
not touching anything either, but he's just fading in and out.
Shout out to our producer, Victor Rodriguez.
Shout out to Vic.
Shout out to Vic. He's the guy that keeps us rolling.
So can y'all hear me?
So real quick recap of what Mike was saying. You know, him over there at the Alamo City All-Star Sportsplex, he hosts tournaments. And just because for guys who did not make their teams, 9th graders and 10th graders, he does that division mainly for 9th graders, focus on to improve and develop, give those guys a second chance, you know, to get some kind of run. He would just like to just deter guys from bringing those 9th and 10th graders that are playing either JV or varsity basketball to those tournaments, because it does no justice. It's not allowing those guys to get better. They're playing kids that did not make their high school basketball team higher than freshmen. So again, with that being said, we get it. He's trying to provide an opportunity to keep kids playing basketball that did not make your high school team. So yes, he's going to have a high school division, but it's not the high school division that we're thinking about in the summertime, in the springtime. It's the high school division to where as though little Eric didn't make the team, got cut on the 3rd day, by the way, 3rd day cuts. He got cut on 3rd day. Hey, he's looking for something special to, you know, maybe this year's not my year, but next year I can do something. He's giving that guy an opportunity. So don't bring your ringers that's on your program that you know is going to help you get that trophy that weekend. Don't bring them. This is about development.
And I'm also going to say, as a coach, I've had to tell people, don't put me in a bad position, because I know your high school coaches, they ask you to agree to not playing outside of the school.
Yes, during school time.
During school ball
Yes.
time. So don't put me in a bad position by asking me to put you in tournaments. So I'm going to say this for the tournament directors as well. Don't put tournament directors in a bad position either. You know, don't put them in a bad position, because they all know you shouldn't be playing.
And that's one thing I give kudos to Michael Daniel in reference to making sure he gives a great product at the Sportsplex, because he felt bad. He really felt bad to where those like, hey man, let me have a conversation about this. Of having conversation about it, again, he's absolutely right. You know, what are we doing to develop that player if he's already on JV, and then him playing down in the ninth grade tournament? How's he getting better? But again, I'm not gonna get on a soapbox today. Not gonna do it.
Can y'all hear me? Did it fix me yet?
That was the I can't make this up segment. You back, Mike?
I'm trying. Can y'all hear me yet?
No, we still can't hear you, bro.
I told you the studio don't like me.
I know. Vic, Mike said the studio doesn't like him. Every time we try to get him on the studio,
I thought it was gonna be fine. Yeah.
we always have trouble with him. And he, you know what? He actually went to his desktop today. instead of being on his phone. So he said you can't blame the phone. We just need him louder just for a little bit because he's gonna give his final thoughts, and then we'll get out your hair. Well, Rich, you want to give yours real quick? Final thoughts, unless you got something else. I was gonna give a bad name. Stop it. Because I can hear you with your motion in my ear. By the way, I'm letting you know I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, okay. All right, so that wouldn't have worked.
No, it wouldn't have worked.
I got to work on that.
You gotta work on that.
Final. We're already at final thoughts. Okay.
Yeah, unless you got something else to bring.
No,
up.
no, final thoughts. I mean, I guess next week, I know at one district, Northside district for sure, next week is finals, semester finals.
Yeah.
So,
With district play?
well, district play
Wow.
continues this week,
Yes.
and then they don't have any games scheduled until the end of the week.
Okay.
So they're going to have going into Christmas break.
Okay.
They're going to have one game, and then they'll get a little Christmas break. But
Got
then they'll be right back at it right after Christmas. But with semester finals coming up, make sure you handle your business. Some of y'all have been traveling, going to tournaments. You're missing half a day of school, on Thursday, half a day on Friday to get to these tournaments. Make sure you're all caught up with your work, caught up with your studies, because these semester exams, a lot of you guys that play varsity, y'all are already in those upper level classes, college credit classes, stuff like that. Stay on top of it. I know I like to let Mike, he always brings up rest, recovery, hydration, nutrition. I'm going to let him do that because that's what he does. And he always brings that up because it's very important. But I'm going to hit it from the angle of make sure you have your stuff taken care of, because I don't care, unless you're the best player in the city, the best player in the state, most coaches don't want to deal with somebody who can't turn in their assignments and can't pass their classes. That's my final thought.
Well, I'll go ahead. Mike, how you sound, Mike?
I don't know. Vic, how do I
There you go.
sound?
There you go. You good?
You're borderline right now, so might as well get it out there.
I'm borderline.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes, sir. There you go.
So also, I want to let it be known that after talking to that coach, he pulled his varsity player, and he's just going to play his freshman. And his sophomore is in the tournament. So
Good for him.
my current, scary from a customer client base, but at the end of the day, I know I'm doing the right thing. And so as long as I know I'm doing the right thing, the right reason, it makes me a bad guy, But there's no way the New Braunfels coach can call me, why did you have my player playing in your building? Because my first response is going to be, you need to talk to that coach that let him play.
He's fading out again, Vic.
Told you Vic don't like you.
There you go. What
Every-
you do, Vic? You
Every
did
time you
something?
said Vic doesn't like you, that comes in loud.
That comes in loud.
So keep doing what you're doing on that.
Every third sentence say Vic don't like you.
The week, Antonio Johnson. Excuse me, Antonio Johnson. Bernie versus Bernie champion. Cole, Lavernia, Best Memorial, New Braunfels. Gonna be a great Friday and Saturday. To my players out there, student athletes, take care of your bodies. Keep putting in the work. Every second matters. Take care of those grades. And to all folks that support sports media show, thank you for supporting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share.
Thank you, Michael. That was well said. I have just one thing today, keeping it very short and simple and sweet. To all the players, one thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. And with you making a mistake, try to make sure you improve on that mistake. So if you make a mistake, let it go, continue to play, and just understand that mistakes happen. That's part of the game. Have a short memory and play through it. There's no one's perfect playing the game of basketball or any other sport, football, tennis, golf. So make those mistakes and play and learn from those mistakes. Use that as your way of getting better. Use that as your ground floor to build your house on everything. Put the work in, work hard to understand that through working hard, you will make the mistakes. And then when the game happens, you'll make less mistakes. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple. That's it. That's all I have. Next week is we have one more week after the next week till we're off on the holidays, and then we're back at it. So I guess if you don't have anything else, Mike, I'm gonna let Rich take us home.
Real quick, I forgot my blenders today. In honor of Primetime in Colorado,
He will be here. By the
he
way,
will be here. That's not even my favorite program, but I'm a Primetime. I'm a Coach Prime fan.
Hey,
so.
I'm a fan of him coaching and playing.
And it sounds like both Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders will be playing, and it looks like BYU is going to be bringing their squad, so it should be a good game. We need to go to that one.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, be kind to one another. It doesn't cost you a dime. Love you guys. We're out.
Out.